Guys, Father's Day is coming up. And if you're looking for the perfect gift to give your dad, look no further. Help him step up his pocket game. The Ridge wallet, guys, it's light, it's sleek, it's industrial. And by the way, it doesn't fold and awkwardly bulge out of your back pocket. It goes into your front pocket. Ridge wallets hold up to 12 cards, plus all the cash that you need. You can choose from over 30 colors and styles. That includes carbon fiber and burnt titanium. It is the best wallet you can buy. You don't just have to take my word for it. There's over 40,000 five-star reviews. And I'll admit, I was skeptical at first. But once I tried it, I never went back to my old wallet. I'm sure you're going to love it, but guys, there's no pressure. Test it out for 45 days. If you don't love it, and I mean love it, send it back. You'll get a full refund. If you decide to keep it, and I believe you will, there's a lifetime warranty, so there's nothing to lose. Just go to ridge.com/Chael or click on the link in the description below. That's going to get you a special 15% savings for Father's Day. That comes with free worldwide shipping and returns. Francis Ngannou just did an interview. Now, I like this. Francis Ngannou says, I'm far from done. I got 5 years left. I'm just getting started. 3 kings. Guys, we've been taking Francis at his word from Jump Street. Anybody that's been crossed with Francis because he's not going to come back and he's not going to defend his championship and he got to the top and then he pulled the ladder up behind him or he wants to go somewhere else. That's only things that he said. He never actually did it. I mean, in all fairness, if we're going to roll with Francis based on what he's saying, this is a very good day. This is a very good day if you're a Francis fan. Let's reset. I'm just getting started. I am going to defend. I'm going to fight for 5 more years. 3 kings. Boom. And we're just swaying in the wind. I mean, is this a glimpse? Is this the first glimpse into Francis rethinking something? Maybe. Probably not. I get it. We're probably making something out of nothing. But it's all that we've got. Francis has not given us much in a period of time. And I'd like to know how he's training. You know, you got the bum knee. He's probably not in the gym a whole lot, but it is relevant to me. Conor McGregor was never the same when he went into boxing. And I know other guys, right? That was the striking realm that we all saw on television. But there's been other guys that have done the same thing. But they went into grappling. It wasn't seen as much. It wasn't pay-per-view. It didn't have all of the luster. Other guys have stopped completely to try to make Olympic teams. And, you know, along the way, since 1993, since we've been doing this thing, my only point that I'm trying to make is anybody that's taken their eye off their ball, anybody that's taken their foot off the gas, has very seldomly recovered. They never transitioned efficiently or effectively. They bit off more than they could chew. I mean, Conor versus Floyd, fine example. Conor never done it. Floyd never lost at it, right? Bit off more than he could chew. Fully focused on it to make it competitive. Save your ego, get the moral victory, but that's as good as you're going to get, and it was good as was gotten. And then when you try to put the tape in rewind, it's just not the same thing. Boxing and MMA is not the same thing. It is colossally different. And boxing coaches, Clayton hires just by example, that understand MMA and understand boxing, they can make it work, but you've really got to know, I mean, the way that you stand, the way you're going to use shoulder blocks. You've got to understand protecting yourself when you've got 4-ounce gloves on, something that you can't do with 16-ounce gloves. You've got to understand the ineffectiveness through the history of MMA of the jab, which controls the boxing fight. It has controlled one MMA fight in history. It was George St. Pierre versus Josh Kostrick. You will never see another example where a jab in an MMA fight has controlled the fight. I only share with you, they're very different sports. They're very different, and you'll make believe, oh, I'm going to go into my boxing, and when I come back into MMA, oh, my hands are going to be so good, everything's going to be so great. I just use Conor by an example. It's the fight that you know. I'm not looking to pick on Conor right now, but he goes over, he does the boxing, does this incredible job with Floyd. He comes back in his next fight. It's the first time he gets popped. First time that he goes down. Right? Talk about the fight with Khabib. Don't think you have to correct me. I realized it wasn't an official knockdown, but you know exactly the shot that I'm talking about. It was the worst shot that he's ever taken. But it also comes in because of the bad habits that you form when you're off and doing the boxing. What is the point that I'm trying to make? The point that I'm trying to make is I would personally be very curious how Francis is training. Now, again, I understand the need. So the answer quite possibly could be he's just not. But if he is, I would be very curious. How much does he know? How pot committed is he that he's got this whatever coming up that's going to be stand-up and it's going to be opposite Fury? I would be very curious, and we would know that if we had insight into his training. Is he planning to defend? Is he still working on MMA? Is he not working on MMA at all, and he's just going on working on whatever is him and... This would be a relevant clue. It would be a wildly fascinating clue. Because now we have Francis say that he's coming back, which not for nothing. When Francis does his best work, he's standing up anyway. I mean, you take his last fight out of the equation, they were all stand-ups, and he's putting guys' heads in the first and second and third row. It'd be very irrelevant. By the way, I had somebody ask me, what is Three Kings? Francis said, I got 5 years left. I'm just getting started. Three Kings. That's what he said. And here was my answer. Tell me if I'm right. I think what Three Kings is Usman, Adesanya, and Ngannou. That's what I think. And there was a poster done. I don't know if it was done by the UFC. It might have been. But it was some media outlet. It might have been one of you, the fan. Whoever did this deserves to be nominated for an award. But it was the three of them, Usman, 70-pound world champion, Adesanya, 85-pound world champion, and Ngannou, heavyweight world champion, African, in African garb, in the attire, with their belts. It was so bad. This was the home run of marketing. Right? You guys remember the Four Horsemen? Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, right? But you remember this angle? This is a real thing. You get the Diaz boys, you get these gyms that are on fire. I think that's what the Three Kings was. I think that's what Francis was talking about. And somewhere, either somebody that did that didn't know how beautiful this was. They did not know how powerful of an angle to run those three guys together and make it nationalistic. They either didn't understand how powerful that was, or they did and they got scared. And there are people where they think they're walking some line, but they're not. It was wonderful. And I think that's what Francis was referencing, and I hope that he was. I do. I hope that's the Three Kings. I hope those guys run with it. I hope the UFC gets behind it. I hope you guys get behind it. It's one of the great angles ever. Not to mention the risk that they're taking. You got Three Kings. One of them falls, they all fall. But that's the power, right? With no risk, there's no reward. It would be ultimate risk. It would be ultimate reward. I think if you're a Francis fan, and I think that's all of us, even if we like to give Francis a hard time, I think we all fall in the category of a Francis fan. Says he's coming back. He says he's just getting started. Says he's got 5 more years. Says he's 1/3 of the Three Kings. I don't see any reason we don't take him at his word.